Hey, what's going on, crypto people? Hey, it's Talk Tech Talk Thursday. We're going to get into some things tonight. What is going on? XRP DRs, Flare Networks is killing the game. XRPL DeFi. What's going on right now? Crypto Writer share some stuff. We're going to get into that as well. Most people want other people to manage their crypto and DeFi for them. Most people. We're going to get into that one as well. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think most people want that. And even if they did, is that okay? I mean, people should do what they want to do, I think. I gotta remind you know, my okay, my son here. What's going on? Then I'm live. So I don't know. It's kind of like, we'll get into some stuff. I'm going to talk about that as well. I think I'm going to share Gary V's clip as the answer to all of this. You know, most people don't want to manage, want somebody to blame. I think I'm going to I think I'm going to share Gary V's clip on this. I think it's pretty profound. Unfortunately, Gary Vaynerchuk, you know what he likes to do? He likes to do a lot of cursing. So I'm gonna find a video. I'm gonna have to wait a minute because I think before I share it, because I think um, they don't like the cursing in like the beginning, like the first 5 minutes or maybe even 10 minutes of the video. Then they seem to be okay with it, I guess. Maybe that's it. This thing seems like it's too high there. So anyway, it's Talk That Talk Thursday. What are you guys doing right now? Are you guys right now around on the couch? Got the neighbors and the friends over? Got your favorite dip and some chips? Got your favorite, libation in preparation for is the draft, the first round of the NFL draft? Is that what's going on? I think that's what's going on for a lot of folks. Prepping for the NFL draft. I think that's what's going on for a lot of folks. Um, I'm afraid. I know my guy, Mr. XRP, all in, is probably in front getting ready for that draft. I'm afraid, man. I'm afraid to just get a little inkling of hope, man. Just a little. I'm afraid, man. Just only to get to be disappointed in my New York Football Giants. So I'm just afraid. What's going on, Dan? Oh, Dan, no fighting traffic. Oh, that's not great. That's not great. I remember those days, bro. I remember those days. Fighting the traffic to get to work, man. I remember those days. Mm. And my challenge is I'm a speeder. I like to get in the car and get to where I need to go. That was my challenge. So, it's funny. All of my tickets and my speeding back in my days were all 90% of it was on my way to work. 90% of those. I mean, and immediately, um, when I decided to no longer be an air traffic controller and become a full-time dad, I never got stopped once, not once since then. A decade and going now. Never got stopped once for anything. What's the difference? The difference is where I was going when I had to, where I was going. I was in the car most of the time when I was in the car. Not all the time because I was I was building a marketing business, right? But most of the time, I was going to the JOB. All my tickets, all my speeding tickets, and all that madness. And I lived in the state of Virginia, which is if you get on the wrong side of the DMV stuff, it's trouble. It's trouble. So, in any case, it's Talk That Talk Thursday, Dano. We're going to talk some stuff today. We're going to talk some really, really interesting stuff. Dano, were you on the live stream yesterday where I did the live stream about this corporation called the Receipts Depository Corporation? Were you on that? We talked about this this structured product called depository receipts. Were you on that one? That was an interesting one because I learned some stuff about Anchorage. Is it Anchorage Digital? Anchorage National Bank Digital? I learned some stuff about their custodial operation. Promising. I mean, I want to say mad shout out for them taking that route. Dano said, I did not catch it. I was probably in traffic. Oh, brutal. Are you on the East Coast, bro? On the East Coast, where I lived. I lived in Maryland and Virginia area for decades. And the traffic is the worst in history. I don't want to hear about this California traffic, man. I'm telling you that East Coast traffic, that Virginia 95, Interstate 95, Interstate 66, Lord, the worst ever. The worst ever. So I did a live stream, Daniel, about I found out about this company by way of someone made a post on X about these XRP depository receipts. And this company that was issuing these depository receipts called the Receipts Depository Corporation. Clever. Yeah, RDC. Never heard of it. Backed by some pretty good people. Former um, former people at Citi. They didn't say if they were executives at cities, if they were salespeople, if they were the mail people at Citi. Did you right? But former people at Citi who started this company or corporation. And to me, it's Citi sent those people to start that. Just mine. But anyway, they have an experience in this structured product called depository receipts and decide to do it for the digital asset space in the leading cryptos in terms of coin market cap as one criteria, I'm sure, to do these depository receipts. Well, it's an interesting product, and it is quote unquote what they call a structured product. Been around for a minute. The structured product or these depository receipts since about 1927. This company just got started based on crypto depository receipts, but the product depository receipts been around for a minute since 1927. And man, we did some homework on that company, the Receipts Depository Corporation, and we did some homework on research on these XRP depository receipts. And then I went to Grok and had a conversation asking about it. And yeah, I got to tell you, the live stream was basically me going over the conversation between myself and Grok about these depository receipts, about the company, Receipts Depository Corporation, and what does it mean in terms of creating demand for the native asset XRP? What does it mean? Will it create this demand, create the storage demand? Will it help with what is it, low velocity that the asset XRP desperately needs? Who's using these depository receipts? Who's interested in it? I mean, just an interesting back and forth. Learned something called QIB. I'd never heard of QIBs before. It's qualified in institutional buyers. Qualified institutional buyers. Never heard that term before. And learned about a little bit more about Anchorage Digital, Anchorage National Bank Digital, whatever it's called. They call themselves. Um, that they are the custody entity for these structured products, and they did something I think is fairly unique, pretty unique, and that they made uh, their entity a what they call bankruptcy remote entity, which means that essentially it means your assets with them are your assets, which was very interesting. Bankruptcy remote, which to me means, right, in basic Chapter 11 bankruptcy, which is one of the things we covered on other live streams when we talked about having someone else manage your stuff for you. We said in previous live streams that unless they change the bankruptcy laws, we're not for any of this intermediary people, because the current bankruptcy laws for Chapter 11 bankruptcy is called Chapter 11 protection, and that it protects the company. It doesn't protect the people who brought the assets or who bring the assets to the company. And so learned that this Anchorage Digital, Anchorage National Bank Association, whatever they call themselves, um, are bankruptcy remote, and that they set the entity up that anybody's assets deposited with them, in particular XRP, in terms of these DRs, they are the person who owns the DRs. It is not their assets. It's not Anchorage's assets. It's not RDC's assets. It's the person who owns the DRs, which is truly a breath of fresh air. Truly, it is. You know, that was real good. What's going on, Pookie Pookie? Were you on the live stream last night, Pookie? I was talking about the Receipts Depository Corporation. Were you on that last night? I know people, right? I'm telling you right now, people are hanging out waiting for the NFL draft, first round. But it's Talk Thursday. We got to get into some stuff here. Let me know if you were on that thing, Pookie Pookie. Let me cover some things real quick. Let's see. No, you weren't on. Oh man, you got to catch that live stream, bro. You have got to catch that live stream, man. Um, it's I'm trying to find the title for you. Well, yeah. Receipts Depository Corporation. The thumbnail says XRP Depository Receipts for DTCC. Oh, you said you missed it, but you watched it today. Oh, okay. Cool. Cool. Wasn't that interesting? The little back and forth I had with Grok about that. You know, in the live stream, this is so funny. In the live stream, I said, while I'm going through this back and forth with Grok, I said, I bet you Mickle, XRP Mickle, is jumping up and down right now, screaming from the rooftops, saying, I told you. I said that at least 3 times in the live stream. I said it at least 3 times in the live stream. Guys, do me a favor and hit that like button on the way in. That'd be super, super cool. We always like to have just as many likes as we got viewers in the stream. I appreciate you guys checking in. I know some of you guys, let me know if you're hanging by that you're watching the Crypto Siege with one eye and one ear, but you got one eye and one ear on that TV waiting on this NFL draft. Let me know if you're doing that. Mr. XRP all in, where are you, bro? My fellow New York Giants, New York Football Giants fan. Where are you? I know you're in front of that too, man. Check in, let me know you're here and that you're prepping. I know it's a Thursday night, prepping for that NFL draft. It's starting in 20 minutes. My boys are picking number 3. I'm gonna turn it on. I'm gonna hear it, but somebody else is sitting in Cali traffic. Or somebody, XRP Nick's in the building. What's going on, bro? Says, yo, CJ, just sitting in Cali traffic. It's bad, bro. Yeah. Yes, it is. That traffic is, man, I don't miss those days at all, my dude. I don't miss those days at all. Heading out of town. Well, really not out of town, but going to an event for a couple of days. I got to look into some live streaming stuff. I came across, discovered a couple other live streaming stuff I need to check out. Guys, do me a favor, hit the like button on the way in. Like I said, we always like to have just as many likes as we got viewers in the stream. That'd be super, super cool. If you didn't have a chance to do it yet, no worries. Just collapse the chat, go smash the like, and then come back and hang out with Crypto Siege and fam. Devon Steve says, morning, CJ and all. Morning, bro. How are you? Appreciate you checking in, my friend. All right, so let's get into some stuff here real quick. Real quick. Crippen Rider says this. Let's see. Well, I'll check to see if he commented on my comment. This is what he said. This is what it looks like when Ripple Dollar jumps from the XRPL to Ethereum using burn to mint. Is that what they did? Okay. In parentheses, he says via Ripple with a 22-second delay. 22-second delay. 12 million. Oh, from the XRPL. I'm going to show you the holders of this in the liquidity pool on Curve. I'm going to share those holders with you and the amount of it's everything's in the millions of dollars. So the top 10, 20 people in that liquidity pool over there. So let's see here. I commented and I said, where's my comment? My comment is not there. Let me see something. My comment should have been there. Let me refresh, see what's good. Huh, it's not there. Well, that's a bummer. That's a bummer. I commented here, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I did. Okay. I said 100%. Good to see someone speak in truth, right? So, right, Crypto Writer said this. We need lending and borrowing plus single asset vaults on the XRPL and concentrated liquidity pools. That's where we live. With an invariant intended for stablecoin AMM pairs. Some core pillars of DeFi are still missing on the XRPL to make it interesting for outsiders, quote unquote. I said 100%. Good to see someone speak in truths. Well, good to see someone to speak in truths. I don't know which one's better, English, and yet still be hopeful to what's coming to the XRPL. He said, he responded, Crippen Rider responded, always hopeful in regards to XRP and XRPL, but we should always try to keep our biases in check. 100%. You got to just speak in truths, man. Speak the truth. We can handle it. We can handle the truth, man. All right, so stuff is off the XRPL, going over to Ethereum, okay? CME Group is reminding everybody XRP and micro XRP futures coming May the 19th. Awesome. This kind of speaks to my conversation, Pookie, with Grok last night in the live stream back and forth. Because I asked about derivatives. I asked about, can this XRPR depository receipts, can they spark demand for the native asset? Because the way it's set up with RDC and Anchorage and all the way it's set up is the institution, accredited investors, people like Pantera Capital or Franklin Templeton, if they're going to get these DRs, the RDC has to, the corporation has to make sure that XRP DRs, the equivalent amount of XRP that is purchased in the XRP DR, the equivalent 1-to-1 is in custody. Yeah. RDC and Anchorage, they set up an awesome thing, but it is for accredited investors and qualified institutional buyers. It's not for you and your neighbor, unless you're an accredited investor. 84 to 87% of Americans are not accredited investors. which means 90 something or so are not qualified institutional buyers. You understand? Because even the accredited investor might not be a qualified institutional buyer. And that's the marketplace for that product. But because the way it is set up, because of the way it is set up, and there's reason why these qualified institutional buyers would want this particular product. There's a lot of advantages to it. But the way it is set up, it's set up that it has to be an equivalent amount of XRP, the asset, native asset, in custody, which is a home freaking run. It's settled, it's redeemable, this XRP this XRP depository receipt is redeemable in the native asset. Not no dirty, nasty fiat, in the native asset. I'm telling you, my back and forth with Grok was awesome. I'm like, who wants this product, man? Why do people want this product? What's this product? What is this product? What is this product? Who wants it and why do they want it? That's what I wanted to know. What the freak is this product? Who wants it and why do they want it? And then, you know me, what I want to ultimately know, we ask it on the live stream all the time. If you're tuning in, how does that create demand for the native asset XRP? That's what I want to know. Because the system is set up currently, even though people are asking for a change, looking to change, the system is set up that the accessibility to the quality products is to accredited investors and these qualified institutional buyers. This is the way the system is set up. And the seconds and the thirds and the sloppy seconds and the sloppy thirds goes to retail. After the QIBs and the likes snatch up the real value. That's the way the system is set up. Intentionally. Intentionally set up that way. Let us not forget that. Intentionally set up that way. Now, who has been fighting for ridding this country of the accredited investors? Someone in Congress. Is it Byron Donald? I think the dude, isn't he running for governor for Florida? Is it him? Is it Senator Davison? Is it Tom Emmer? I forget which one. But they've been having more and more of their talks have been around ridding this country of the nonsensical accredited investor thing. Yeah. So CME Group was excited about this coming May 19th. Starting on the 19th of May, trade regulated capital efficient futures on XRP, available in larger and micro-sized contracts so you can scale your exposure with greater precision and flexibility. Brad Garlinghouse seemed to be excited about it. Right here says, while overdue in a bunch of ways, this is an incredibly important and exciting step in the growth of the XRP market. Okay. Again, does this product, this futures product, Grok spoke to this futures and stuff. I'm telling you, this back and forth that Grok and I had about these XRP DRs and derivatives and, you know, all these other products that can be kind of built around it, ultimately can lead to the demand of the native asset, because the DRs are really these depository receipts in this four of them: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and XRP. With the nature that it was structured in that it has to be one-to-one in asset, right? So it's a paper, you know, it's a paper product, but the native asset has to be in custody, right? It has to be like a one-to-one. which was awesome setup. And then in addition to that awesome setup, the custody people set up that entity in a way that they are not the owners of the asset. They said something that's called bankruptcy remote. So, so that was absolutely genius to do that. Absolutely genius to do that. And until we can get that in like a law, that's the thing we need. You got this bankruptcy protection where it's an olden rule that they make the customer, they got all of this, what do they call it? Secured creditors and non-secured creditors, then there's some other kind of credit, all this other kind of crap. Dude, if I brought my assets to the platform, they should be my assets. I didn't screw up, you screwed up. You became insolvent. I didn't become insolvent. Why do you get to keep my assets? It's like lunacy. Lunacy. Well, it's not enough to get to everyone. Okay, well, do your thing. Let us keep what we got. Let us keep it, and then you figure out how to get the rest of it to us. Make us whole 100%. Again, we didn't go insolvent. You did. If we make a bad investment with our brokerage, right? We make a bad investment. We make a bad investment. The brokerage didn't go insolvent. Can we say, okay, well, I made a bad investment. Can you make me whole? We can't do it. We thought the next big thing that was going to replace Elon Musk was um, Twitter version 2. And we bought that company. And it went under in 90 days. Is Charles Schwab responsible? Can they make us whole or no? They don't make us whole. We don't have any right to be made whole because we made a bad investment. Well, you're the one who went insolvent. We didn't go insolvent. Like these rules are set up to protect these companies. It's an insane thing. And people don't talk about it. This is why I say we don't need more intermediaries. We need less of them. So anyway, Brad was excited about that. Futures. Crypto Eddie put this out. Ripple dollar stablecoin deployment of nearly 70% on ETH should not be surprising at all. Ethereum offers unparalleled infrastructure for token utility. Ripple can capture market share, credibility, and utility among dominating DeFi users. Today's inflow on Curve Finance plus TVL equals impressive. We showed that with you the other night. It was pretty impressive. I shared the Curve Finance with you, and I shared what is this? And I shared what do I want to call it? Aave. Aave's lending and borrowing. The RLUSD USD pair is a liquidity pair on Curve Finance. Some interesting numbers there as well. Well, she got the base API 1.2.0. What? They went to 10%? Okay. Rewards are in CRV and RLUSD. She posted that 20 hours ago. Let's go to DeFi Llama and take a look at that liquidity pool real quick. Shout out to you, Crypto Eddie. I hope you're doing well, miss. Before I do that, just want to share something about these XRPL numbers. From XP Market, total market cap 305 million is the entire XRPL ecosystem. Total value locked 31 million. AMM volume 24-hour volume 1.44 million, 24 hours. Order book volume 5 million. Top token movers and gainers, meme. I don't know what XTX and QLX are. Best performing pools, XRPL, OL. I don't know what that is. Senti XRP, Fuzzy XRP, XOX, and XRP. Interesting numbers. So let me do this. Yeah, hold on 1 second. I'm gonna. do this real quick, and I'm going to go to this Curve Finance, let you look at these numbers. They're pretty cool. All right, sorry about that. I want to do that there in the background there. So, all right, so let's go to DeFi Llama. Let me share my screen. Take a look at this pool. I said I was going to show you guys the holders in the liquidity pool on Curve Finance. I don't know if I showed you it or not. I don't think I did. So let's go here. All right, I got the deck screener up. Let me refresh that. RLUSD, USDC, it's Curve Finance. Let's see, here we go here. All right. Let's go to DeFi Llama and check this out real quick. I'm going to click on 2,300, 2,300 holders of this, or participants are in this RLUSDC curve on Curve Finance. All right, so let's go here. Go to DeFi Llama. I want to show you that the volume of these holders is interesting. 132 billion for total TVL. It's all right. Let's put in Curve Finance here. Curve Finance. All right, so there's Curve Finance. Let's go to the website here. All right, so look at here, RLUSD, TVL, here it is, look at the TVL, is 61 million, 24-hour volume is 41.49 million, and the base APY for this pool is 1.23%. The rewards currently is, how many zeros in this curve? This looks like 2, 4. It looks like at least 6 zeros. 3, 7, yeah, 6 zeros. 0.6027 CRV. And the RLUSD rewards is 8.54%. Now this is going to go up and down. At one point it was 10%. When I first looked at it, it was 9.90%. Rewards in RLUSD. Okay. So the rewards are in Curve, if you want to say that's a reward, and RLUSD. Okay. The base APY is 1.23%. This is a stable coin, right? Stable coin pair. 61 million. Okay, let me see if I click on this here real quick. All right, so you can click on that, and you can get the contract address for the pool right here, right? And you copy that, and you go over to Deck Screener, and you could pick the market over here if you like. You can just click on Ethereum. You can put in that contract address, and you can see the pool here. Ethereum is the chain, Curve is the D app, right? You can check the pair here. You can confirm the address and stuff there. Then you click on it. 61 million. I don't know why I got a market cap of 100 and something million. But anyway, there it is, right? And you can go down here. You can see the recent buys and sells. Let's see if I can move this. Nope. You can see the buys and sells here. Liquidity providers, two, my guess, Curve and Ripple. And then the holders, 2,304 now. You can click on the holders and you can see the top holder, 48.89 million. Number two, 38.2 million. These are some big numbers here, right? It says value. Different addresses. Look at the values. 48, 38, 29, 21, 15, 10, 6, 4, 4, 3. And then all the others out of the top 10 in value equal 56 million. So some big top 10 holders, probably all of Ripple's folks there, probably, most likely. I don't know. But those are big numbers, right? 20% of the pool is owned by this person, 16% of the pool by this one, 12 by this one, 8 by this, 6 by this. And there is a way to calculate. I think you take the total number of holders and you divide it by something to find the, the kind of the, if it's spread out sufficiently enough to be worth entering in, right? You don't want the pool to be, you know, um, overwhelmingly in, the top three holders in terms of the LP tokens and stuff like that. So, but let's go back over here to Curve Finance. Check this out real quick. So those are the numbers. The rewards is what it is. 8.54%. It's interesting that the rewards are changing. Like I can see the base APY changing. But anyway, it is what it is. Total LP tokens staked, 51 million. Stake percentage, 85% are staked. To me, again, this is what, 2 days, 3 days old. So you can deposit, you can stake, you can just hit deposit and stake. This is like, to me, massive interest. Massive interest. Now, this says total deposits is 1.63 billion. Daily volume is 219 million. Crypto volume share 7%. Daily volume of 41 million. So this is a hugely popular, massive number for liquidity pool and stable coins. For sure. There's a lot of maneuvering and strategic stuff going on with Ripple and kind of leveraging the RLUSD in this pair. But yeah. So again, it's on Ethereum, so you got to worry about that initial transaction on Ethereum. But since it's stable coins, you don't have to worry about rebalancing or doing some type of rebalancing strategy. And for every transaction, you're now dealing with Ethereum gas fees. You don't have to worry about that because it's the stable coins. So that's good. Jody, what's up? Jody Doe, how are you, my friend? Hey, CJ. What can XRP? Johnny Allison is checking in. How are you, my friend? Hey, CJ. What can XRP go to realistically by December this year? Don't know, bro. Do you hold it or you trade it? I hold it. I held it. I used to have a ton of XRP. I do not any longer because of Celsius. What's going on, Rick Cisneros? How are you, bro? Absolutely. Rick Cisneros says, CJ, we have been screaming at the top of your lungs when liquidity incentive pools from Ripple Labs, and more importantly, what are you going to do with escrow? Yeah, yeah. So this is an interesting reward structure. I'm sure it's between Curve and Ripple, for sure. you know, 9%. What do you think about that? I mean, you're not getting 9%, it's 8.94 now. You're not getting 9% on your dirty, nasty fiat anywhere, right? Not doing that. So the timing of the thing is interesting. Again, I said in the live stream yesterday, if you have some extra stable coins out there, maybe you take 10, 20, 30%. If you got a stable coin, bagged, maybe, I don't know, maybe you consider 10, 20%, putting it in this liquidity pool. Again, it's a stable coin liquidity pool. You're going to get rewarded in RLUSD, 9%. Like a lot of people don't understand, Rick, that getting into liquidity pools and DeFi is a long-term play. It's not 30 days. It's not 90 days. It's long-term. It's through the bull and through the bear. It's a long-term play to create cash flow. What's going on, Alex Sheet? So yeah, Johnny, I appreciate you checking in, bro. I used to have multiple six figures of XRP, but um, the Celsius debacle happened and lost all of that there. And so they took 90 something percent and then they swapped everyone's assets out for Bitcoin and Ethereum. XRP Nick says too much complex BS features within crypto. Which we just need simple use case rolling. Everyone trying to sprint before crawling. Yeah. I got to tell you, I'm excited about what Flynn Networks is building out for XRP holders. Really excited about that. Really, really excited about that. Hey, Pookie, I think our guy, Mr. XRP All In, is in front of that TV right now. The NFL draft is on, and he's torturing himself, waiting on what the New York Giants are going to do. I can't take it. I can't take it. I guess Tennessee is probably first up on the clock. So Johnny, yeah, no, I don't have a really realistic price for timing. I have a price prediction of 12 to 26. Did I say 12 to 26? I'm trying to think of what I did. Yeah, 12 to $26 I picked. I know it's a broad range, but that's where I saw it. I see it. That's how I see it. It's going to be interesting to see with the tokenization on AXRPL and how that creates demand for the native asset XRP. What is this tokenization hub that Ripple is trying to build out? And what are the RWA apps that are going to be built there? How much on-chain stuff is going to come from Archax? And will that create demand for the native asset XRP? So we're going to see. We're going to see if we create that demand. But yeah, what's going on, Alex? I got to tell you that the conversation back and forth with Grok about this structured product coming out of from Receipts Depository Corporation, and this financial product that is a securities product that is catering to accredited investors and qualified institutional buyers. It's an interesting product, the way it is set up. The custodian is going to be this Anchorage Digital Bank. That bank has been set up as an bankruptcy remote entity, and that the people that own the depository receipts own the depository receipts, own the XRP, not the Anchorage Bank Digital, and not the RDC, which is the Receipts Depository Corporation. That's a great look. That is a great freaking look. I tell you, very excited about that. So maybe other entities will follow suit. That would be awesome. I never heard of the term bankruptcy remote before, but I gotta tell you, I was excited to read that. And hopefully that's a, worldwide, wherever they operate in. Hopefully it's not kind of restriction wise. Alex, you said I was driving. I just stopped. Be careful on those roads, Alex, bro. Be careful on the roads, my friend. So Any news on Flare? No, not really. When FXRP? Nope. I mean, sometime this year, uh, I think the FXRP V1.1 on Songbird, and then the V2 on Flare Network. It's going to be an awesome thing with those wallets, the protocol managed wallets. I'm telling you, I think Flare Networks and what they're building out is further ahead in bringing value to XRP holders and DeFi, XRP holders and DeFi than Ripple. I think they're both on the journey trying to figure out how to bring value to XRP holders. But yeah, yeah. Hold on one second. So yeah, that's the latest and greatest on the news on Flare, man. They're building out something I think is pretty awesome. They just um they just put a little mini ad out for anyone interested in building an insurance marketplace on Flare using their FDC protocol. It's interesting. They change the insurance game around. I'm hoping because right now some of those insurance things not great. Insurance products are not great. So yeah, I do hold XRP, Johnny. I don't trade it. I hold it. I participate in DeFi. I'm much bigger on DeFi than anything else, I would say. So yeah, so that is the latest and greatest on that with Flare Network. So I'm telling you some really really good stuff on there. What's going on with Flare? I'm excited about what Flare has going on. I really really am. I think they're changing the game for XRP holders. And remember, Alex Sheet, Hugo and the team at Flare are going to be at the XRPL Apex 2025 in Singapore, actually presenting on stage. So I think that's going to be good. It's going to be good. It's going to be really, really good. I don't think I'm going to go to XRP Las Vegas. So I'll be looking, and I think Flynn Networks is going to be speaking at the XRP Las Vegas event. Let me know if you guys plan on going to the XRP Las Vegas thing. But I think we're going to get some big news from that XRPL Apex for sure. I think it's going to be pretty big. Really do think it's going to be pretty big. I hope they say something about Flare in terms of, I don't know. I don't know what it's going to look like, but Flare is building out something. I'm excited about what they're building out. I'm just really, really excited about that. And I, I, I will tell you this though, Johnny. I got more excited about how traditional financial products around XRP can create demand for the native asset. So a traditional financial product like a depository receipt, how those type of products could create demand for the native asset XRP. After having my conversation with Grok, you guys should watch that live stream. It's really, really good. Um, the thumbnail is XRP depository receipts for DTCC. And I think the title was, nope, that's not it. Where's the title at? Why'd that come up? The title is Receipts Depository Corporation launches something. But yeah, telling you, that was so I got more excited about traditional financial products, how these RWAs and DApps that are coming to the XRPL, they have a shot there, depending on the DApps, to create demand for XRP. So Grok was giving me some ideas, and I asked it about derivatives. It brought up derivatives and options and other stuff tied to this one particular product, which is called a depository receipt, which is being brought to crypto by way of a company called Receipts Depository Corporation, RDC. and it's made up of former Citi guys. You know, the global bank Citi. It's made up of from guys from that background when they were at Citi, and you're trying to kind of make that the DRs TradFi, make it crypto, right? So they got four of these structured products: XRP DR, Solana DR, Bitcoin DR, and Ethereum DR. Again, it's TradFi product around the native assets: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and XRP, structured in a way that I believe is going to create massive demand for the native asset XRP. Rick Cisneros, you going? Rick Cisneros says, I'm going to XRP Las Vegas, but just for the XRP after parties. Oh, I hear you. Not the actual events. Oh, I hear that, bro. Yeah, XRP after parties. Okay. I hear you, bro. I hear that. Yeah, it's going to be hard for me to get to that XRP Las Vegas stuff. Just as much as I'd like to see the team from Flair and meet fellow XRP community members, it's going to be tough for me to get to that. But yeah, you're going to go to the after events. Okay. I hear that, Rick. I hear that. It's that those events are those generally I guess I couldn't say that. No. I mean, I hear some people going to be speaking. I think someone from Ripple is going to be there speaking, and someone from Flare is going to be speaking. I don't know if it's David Schwartz from Ripple. I don't know who it's going to be. But yeah, I wish that they would do this XRPL Apex in the freaking States. I mean, it'd be nice if they did it in the States. You know what I mean? Yeah, it would be nice, right? If they did it in the States. So, I mean, so I covered the Curve Finance. The Ripple dollar is on Aave for lending and borrowing. If you want to lend your RLUSD, you can lend it there, 0.38%. And you can borrow at 1.8%. That's the last I looked at the numbers. But yeah, I think Jungle is right in that the Ripple dollar is going to do some really, really great stuff for the Ripple dollar stablecoin. It's going to do some really, really good stuff for XRP. Because I'm all about how can we create demand for this asset. And, you know, for me, it's always been DeFi and liquidity pools. Look at the RLUSD and USDC pair right now, and what it's doing on Ethereum. We need those liquidity pairs on the XRPL. We need an XRP RLUSD liquidity pair on the XRPL for sure. And I know it's coming. I know it's coming. A lot of people are upset that everything's launching on Ethereum, the vast majority on Ethereum. We're going to see what the XRPL EVM sidechain's really going to do for the XRPL in terms of builders, dApps, all that. We're going to see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see what happens. But yeah, on the Talk That Talk Thursday, I really wanted to just say, look, for me, we don't need more intermediaries. We need less intermediaries. We don't need people managing our stuff for us. We should manage our stuff ourselves. And like I started the live stream today saying, yeah, people want this and want that, and they want stuff done for them, and they want to be able to blame someone. But is that what we need? It's almost, for me, it's almost like, well, the United States children we're in the bottom percentile, the bottom tier percentile in terms of being able to read, write, and do math. So should we just be cool with that, or do something about it? Well, and when it comes to finances, if the United States is the largest debtor nation in history, should we just hang out and be like that? Or should we do something about it? And I say, remember, it's personal debt It's business debt, it's corporation debt, record levels of personal debt. So we just chill and hang out like that. Or sure, maybe we should just learn how to manage our own stuff, make our own decisions. I think because we have become so accustomed to letting people do other stuff for us financially, is why we're in the situation that we're in. Because I think, these financial planners and advisors and these RIAs and, who owns all that stuff, right? Ultimately that stuff is owned by the JP Morgans and the Goldmans of the world, right? I mean, if you've done your homework on 401ks and TSPs, it's not a good look for you. The real big will says facts. So maybe we need to do something a little different. Daniel says good words. Thank you. Maybe we need to do a little something different, like manage our own DeFi, manage our own finances, take personal ownership for the security of the stuff that we own, as opposed to conveniently letting someone else do it. Now, I'm saying kind words. You should hear what my boy Gary Vee has to say about it. It's not so kind. It's not so kind. I think I'm well enough into the stream where I could probably deal with all that cursing that he does, but yeah, he used a 4-letter word and it wasn't kind. He used a 4-letter word about American people. That's right, Rick says now they're going to move all the debt on chain. That's without question. Yeah, he used a 4-letter word. I'm telling you. I could find a video, but I'm telling you, this dude, Gary Vee, is something. But it was talking about AI and entrepreneurship and stuff like that. But he was basically saying kind of why it is. Are we letting people speak now at the draft that get picked? Is that what's going on? Is that what's going on? Yeah, it's 4-letter word and it wasn't the word kind. But I think that's what we should do. Take more responsibility. I mean, I get it. This is the thing that we want, but do we want to be hoodwinked and bamboozled because we're turning stuff over to people? I don't know. People still think that it's just too hard to do it themselves. And that's cool. But is that good for us? I mean, I don't know. Is that good for us? Now, if you're in that business of, selling financial products, I mean, you don't want to hear what I have to say about, right, intermediaries. If you're in that business, right? Hold on a second. So anyway, I just asked. I mean, is that good for us to just, I get it. I get it. We want to have it be convenient. Like someone in my channel, someone friend of the channel was like, people want someone just to blame. I get it. But is that good for us? Yeah, I don't know. that's that's right, Rick. That is an interesting point. Rick says, CJ, what's interesting is in the Bill of Rights, we can buy a gun and we can pray and to who we believe, but you cannot control your money. Nope. And don't even think about asking. Right? Isn't that interesting? But the real big whales kind of falling right in line with what Gary Vee said. He says, I think people are just lazy and want to be catered to. That's what Gary Vee was saying. Puka Puka says, I'd rather control my own wealth. Yeah, I mean, I think we have become comfortable with convenience and entertainment and, you know, FDIC stuff, that whole hoodwink of it's protected. Someone's looking out for us. And it ain't working out. It's not working out. It's not working out. People can learn DeFi. People can learn to get the returns on the money. Like they can learn the ups and the downs and the ins and the outs. They can learn it themselves. We can all learn it. We can all learn it. We can learn to manage 100,000. You can learn to manage 1,000,000. You can learn to manage 10 million. You can learn to manage 100 million. You can learn all that. You know, I get it. You know, probably get 50 to 75 million people start to get a little nervous figuring some stuff out. But do you know how to de-risk yourself? Do you know how to look into the risk of turning your stuff over to someone and what that really means? Do you understand the risk? Do you understand the risk? What's the risk with putting your stuff with Goldman's? Do you understand it? What's the difference between a cash account and an asset account at Goldman's? Do you understand it? Do you understand the difference between collateral? Do you know what the CSD is? Do you know what the ICSD is? Are you familiar with Uniform Commercial Codes Article 8 and 9? You read through them? Then you know the risk. But if you don't, what are you doing? I'm just here to say that you can de-risk yourself. My mentor used to say there's no such thing as risk. It's unsophisticated investors. Right? He used to say it's not risky investment, it's risky people. I mean, like, why not level up, right? Why not level up? Why not? I say right now, I junk around a lot right now, pookie pook, and I just say, why not just de-risk yourself? Why not just de-risk yourself, right? Hold on. So anyhow, there it is, fam. There it is. This is some food for thought. I mean, everybody's saying the same thing. Is interesting. I get three people saying people are lazy and want to be catered to. They are lazy and scary, very, very risk averse, says XRP Precision Beats. What's going on, bro? How are you? And so I just offer that to you. One thing, two things. Number one, I do not believe that most people want an intermediary between them and their money. I think that most high net worth people may want that. And here's the deal. You got to understand it. If 87% of the people are not accredited investors and 90% or so are not qualified institutional buyers, you can't get these products. The best of the best of the products are not accessible. So why not learn how to manage your own stuff? Because when Goldman calls, because now you're a deca millionaire, you can ask them the right questions. What happens to my stuff in the event of insolvency? You can ask them if they are familiar with the article, your UCC articles 8 and 9. You can ask them their thoughts on it. If you can't hold it, you don't own it. What do they think about that? What can they make on your money as opposed to what you can make on your money? Like, how much money are they going to make for you? And do you know whether or not you could make that money for yourself? Do you know? Do you know if you can make 3% a month on your money? Do you know if you can do that? People are doing it. People are doing it. Isn't it better to just level up your skills? Then you can make your own decisions. Maybe you say, okay, I'm going to trust you with the first 10% of my stuff. Just 10%. See how you do. And then I'd like to have more conversations with you about the UCC articles 8 and 9. You have more conversations and ask them if they read the book, The Great Taking. That see their take on it. See if they're trying to BS you or see if they're saying, speaking the truth on it. Seeing if they come up with some logical reasoning or as to what it is and why it is. They probably don't know. Right? They probably don't know. And when you think about that, um, that the powers that be are the ones who determine that there's a catastrophe. Like you and I don't get to solve it. If they decide, well, this thing over here in Europol happened, and it's going to cause a cascading snowball downhill. So we deem that as a catastrophe, and thus the collateral that you thought was one thing is technically really is collateral, and we get to own it. Don't you think it's interesting that the DTCC experiment was about the movement of collateral? This latest video demonstration and webinar that they did, it was about moving collateral. Did they say anything about moving a stock or a derivative or an option? They called it collateral. Do you know why that's important? Have you really looked into it? Again, the DTCC settlement, right? The subsidiary is the DTC. Why did they call it collateral? The trillions of dollars and stuff that they move and settle responsible for. Why did they call it collateral and not stocks or options or bonds or pick a TradFi product? Why didn't they call it that? Are you guys familiar with this recent demonstration where they were celebrating? I think they did this stuff on Ethereum blockchain. Did you watch the demonstration in the webinar and how they were celebrating? And did anyone think, why are they calling everything collateral? Do you know about the conversations between the New York Federal Reserve and the think tank? I forget the name of it, questioning the Federal Reserve and what exactly did this whole change in the UCC and creditors, non-creditors, the whole thing, non-secured creditors. or what it really meant? I mean, what does it hurt to know? Right? And then think about this. Why did the CIA come up with the term and phrase conspiracy theory? Because they're the ones who created it. Because if my boys think I'm crazy, if your dudes think you're crazy, then then the media can run with it. And yeah, it's interesting how many conspiracies have come to be realities here of late. Isn't it? It's interesting. It's really, really interesting to me. But anyway, I digress. I think it's, again, I don't think we need more intermediaries. I think we need less intermediaries. I think that people can manage their own stuff if they're willing to learn to manage their own stuff. I say to you humbly that intermediaries have got us into the challenge that we're in. Fee after 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 fee. And this is a new financial system. So if it's a new financial system, why would we revert back to doing the old things? It's a new financial system. We can have true decentralization with no one in between us and our money. We can have verifiable AI in which the AI verifiably can do stuff for you on your behalf, and you still maintain control of your assets. Why would you not want that? All you got to do then is learn what it is that you want. You can't tell the AI to do stuff in DeFi if you don't know anything about DeFi. How's that going to work? How are you going to know what to look for? So what does that mean? Takes a little time to level up, learn more. Okay. Can't you invest some time in you? I'm talking about you and your future. That's what I would say to you. E2, 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 Yo two, Yo two, Yo también. Yeah. So, right? It's kind of how I see it. We can do it. We can do it. We can do it. We can learn it. We can learn it ourselves. I know we can. We can manage our own stuff. I know we can. Michael Z's in the building. What's going on? Just dipping in. Keep at it, bro. You just realized where XRP is going. Pass that bucket, bro. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Michael Z. I appreciate that. All right, fam. I'm gonna hop off here. We got to get some eats. My New York Football Giants did the right thing, and they picked a defensive end. Stop messing around with this QB stuff. Come on already with that. Get that QB stuff later. All right, guys. I'm gonna let you get to your teams. I know you want to get to that NFL draft. I appreciate you guys checking in. Thanks, Michael Z, for checking in, and XRP Precision Boots and Precision Beats, Pookie, the real big well. Dano and Rick Cisneros, I appreciate you guys checking in. Alex G, thanks so much for hanging out, my guy. Devon, Steve, Johnny Allison, and Jody Doe, XRP Nick, I appreciate you guys checking in for sure. It's been a really, really cool hang. Do me a favor, if you didn't hit that like button on the way in, please do so on the way out. We always like to have just as many likes as we got viewers in the streams. And by the way, if you happen to be in that 55% or so of people hanging out, listening to and watching the Crypto Seas, do me a favor. If you've been enjoying those hangouts, please consider subscribing to the channel. And don't forget to ring that notification bell, baby. So you know whenever we go live or whenever we upload a video. I'm going to end this one like I do all my videos and remind you guys of this. Old money doesn't want you to win. But that's okay, though, because you and I, we're already winning. And I would ask you to consider this, or perhaps ponder the idea or notion of living your life permissionless. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you, guys, the old money merch is up and live. Let me share that with you real quick. I forgot to share that. Here's the old money merch, man. There's some good stuff here. Check it out. There'll be a link in the description for sure to check it out. I'll leave a link in the chat as well. They got the old money merch with the crypto siege on top of the logo and without it on the logo as well. Here's my favorite tight material shirt right here. Oh, that's not good. What happened? There it is. There's the black one. There's the red one. I like that red. I like that red. There's the heavy metal. That's a nice one right there. I love it. And defensive end. Oh, they took a DT. Uh oh, OT. Okay, yeah. Old money doesn't want you to win, and the military green for my camel guys. Those dudes who and gals that love the rock the camel gear. I think this would be really, really cool to do that. And then there's the dark chocolate, if you like that as well. But let me leave a link here. Hopefully this link is going to work. But there'll be a link in the description if it doesn't work as well. All right, fam. Thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate each and every one of you. Happy Talk That Talk Thursday, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. See ya.